Welcome back to Book Dive, everybody. Ready to supercharge your commute with another deep dive,
I like that supercharge your commute.
right?
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today we are going deep on The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale.
Ooh, a classic.
A classic. And this one was actually picked by a listener.
I love that.
So thank you to the listener who suggested this one.
Yeah, thanks for writing in. And listeners, keep those suggestions coming because we really do love to hear what you guys want to hear about.
Yeah, and this one is truly packed with techniques for living a happier, more successful life.
Hmm.
We're talking about harnessing affirmations, the energy drain of negative emotions, and even how prayer can solve business problems.
Okay, so like practical application stuff,
Yeah.
not just like feel-good vibes.
Right. It's like practical application of like mindset.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump right in. One of the first things that Peele tackles is this idea of believing in yourself. And he opens with this story about a businessman who's riddled with self-doubt going into a huge deal.
Oh, yeah. I think we all know that feeling.
Oh, for sure.
That like nagging voice in the back of your head that's like, I'm not good enough or I'm going to fail.
Absolutely. And so Peele gives this businessman a verse from Philippians 4.13 to repeat to himself.
Okay.
And it's, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And guess what? But the guy starts saying it, his mindset shifts, and he closes the deal.
Wow. I mean, there's power in believing in yourself, right?
Yeah.
And what's interesting here is Peele actually frames faith as a learnable skill,
Okay.
something that you can practice and develop. And he even suggests finding a spiritual advisor to kind of guide you through that process.
It's like having a coach in the gym,
Exactly.
showing you the ropes and keeping you motivated.
Totally. And then Peele takes this concept a step further with something he calls thought conditioning,
Okay.
which is essentially replacing negative thoughts with positive ones to reshape your mental patterns.
It's almost like you're training your brain
Exactly.
to think differently.
Yes. And there's this great anecdote about a guy who was terrified of everything. And to overcome his fears, he would drive around with an empty coffee can
Okay.
and repeat the phrase, I am now a courageous person.
I mean, that sounds a little out there, but
I mean, but you're essentially flooding your mind with these positive statements until they outweigh the negative ones, right?
it's like fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
Okay, I like it.
So then Peele goes on to explore how a peaceful mind actually generates power.
Okay.
He argues that negative emotions like fear, anger, and hate drain our energy, while peace, love, and forgiveness replenish it.
It's like that saying, holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Exactly.
It just eats away at you.
It just eats away at you. And Peele uses a really compelling story to illustrate this point. A distressed man calls him late at night, desperately needing prayer.
Okay.
Peele suggests they pray together right then and there over the phone.
Over the phone.
Over the phone.
Wow.
He emphasizes that God's presence isn't bound by physical limitations.
That's powerful.
It's about making that connection wherever you are.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of connection, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future deep dives from Book Dives.
Yeah, please do that.
All right, so going back to that idea of finding peace,
Mm-hmm.
Peele's clear that emptying your mind of negative thoughts isn't enough.
Right.
You have to fill that space with positive and creative thoughts to prevent the negativity from creeping back in.
Right. It's like cleaning out a closet. You don't just leave it empty.
Right.
You fill it with things that are actually useful and make you feel good.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of feeling good, Peele's next chapter is all about having constant energy.
Oh, this is a good one.
Right.
He highlights the importance of mastering your emotions and aligning yourself with what he calls God's rhythm.
God's rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay.
To maintain vitality.
I like it.
And he tells this story about an elderly gentleman who is completely exhausted.
Okay.
And through prayer and faith, he manages to open up what Peele calls a clogged channel in his personality.
A clogged channel.
Yes.
Okay.
And his energy comes flooding back.
It makes you wonder, how much are our own fears and anxieties holding us back and draining our energy?
That is a great question.
So this is where Peele throws us a bit of a curveball. His next chapter is titled Try Prayer Power, where he argues that prayer can be a practical tool for solving problems both in business and your personal life. It's a different perspective than what a lot of people are used to
For sure.
when it comes to prayer.
Yeah.
So he talks about this guy, Jack Smith, a health club owner, who incorporates prayer into his work with clients because he believes that it helps them unlock their inner potential.
I like that.
Right?
It's like, that's a cool way to look at it.
Yeah. And he also mentions this group of executives who start all their brainstorming sessions with silent prayer and meditation
Wow.
to tap into a source of creative ideas.
Like a mental reset button?
Yeah, almost like a mental reset button before diving into work,
I love that.
right? And Peale even shares his own personal experience using prayer to find solutions to his challenges,
Oh.
demonstrating its practical application in everyday life.
It's like he's walking the walk.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like accessing a higher level of consciousness to get those creative juices flowing.
I love that. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. Peele's next chapter focuses on how to create your own happiness. And his big message here is that happiness is a choice, not something that just happens to you.
Right. He uses this great analogy of an old man on a TV show who simply decides to be happy every morning. It's about setting the intention for your day and choosing to focus on the positive.
And he contrasts that with how we as adults often manufacture our own unhappiness by complaining about everything. He tells a story about a wealthy woman on a train who just gripes nonstop. Her husband finally jokes that she manufactures her own unhappiness. And it's so true.
It's a good reminder to be mindful of our thoughts and choose to focus on the good instead of dwelling on the negative.
Absolutely. And Peele points out how children have this natural ability to find joy in simple things because they haven't learned to overcomplicate things yet. Remember being a kid and being excited about things like streetlights or the moon.
Yeah, he actually shares this list of things that made a group of children happy, and it's incredibly pure. Things like smoke rising from a chimney and red velvet. It's a beautiful reminder to appreciate the simple joys in everyday life.
So how do we recapture that childlike wonder? Peele says it's all about practicing love and kindness. He shares this wonderful philosophy from H.C. Mattern, who had it printed on his business card. Keep your heart free from hate, your mind from worry. Live simply, expect little, give much. Fill your life with love, scatter sunshine, forget self, think of others. Do as you would be done by. Try this for a week and you will be surprised.
What a fantastic philosophy. It really speaks to the transformative power of love and its ripple effect on ourselves and those around us.
I'm adding that to my list of things to try. Okay, let's talk about Peele's chapter on how to stop fuming and fretting. His main point here is that worry, like any habit, can be unlearned.
He talks about how we get stuck in cycles of worry and anxiety, but we can break free by consciously changing our thoughts and reactions.
He gives an example of a businessman who would dramatically toss each day's calendar page in the trash every evening, signifying its end, and then pray to let go of any worries from that day.
It's a great visualization technique for releasing the past and being present in the moment. And it leads perfectly into his next chapter, which is all about expecting the best.
Right. He talks about how believing in success can actually help you achieve it. He tells a story about a woman struggling in her new job selling vacuum cleaners door to door. She's filled with self-doubt, but starts practicing faith and positive affirmations. And you know what? Her sales skyrocket.
It's amazing how much our beliefs influence our reality. If we believe we'll fail, we're more likely to make choices that lead to failure. But if we believe in ourselves and expect the best, we're more likely to persevere through challenges.
Then Peele dives into how to get what you want in life, introducing the concept of mustard seed faith. It's the idea that even a tiny bit of belief can yield incredible results.
It's a message of hope and encouragement to take that first step, even if you're unsure of the outcome.
He shares a story of a couple, Maurice and Mary Alice Flint, facing a mountain of problems. They start applying the principles of faith and letting go of resentment and end up achieving success beyond their wildest dreams. It's pretty inspiring.
It really shows how powerful it can be to shift your perspective and embrace a positive mindset, even in the face of adversity.
Peele then encourages us to slow down a bit and talks about the importance of relaxation for our well-being.
And this is where you, our listener, come in. Peele shares an experience of an overworked college student learning to find rest and draw strength from a higher power.
And that student was me. I was burning the candle at both ends and completely exhausted. That's when I discovered the power of surrendering to something bigger than myself and finding that inner source of peace and strength.
It's a valuable lesson for us all, especially in today's fast-paced world. We're constantly bombarded with messages telling us to do more, be more, achieve more. But taking time to rest and recharge is crucial.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, building on that idea of tapping into a higher power, Peele's next chapter focuses on exactly that. He emphasizes that this source of power is available to everyone, but we need to learn to connect with it through faith and prayer.
He tells the story of a struggling businessman who has a light bulb moment and decides to bring God into his business as a partner. From that point on, his business thrives, and he's flooded with creative ideas and solutions.
It's like he unlocked a secret level in the game of life by simply having faith and being open to a higher power working in his life.
It's a reminder that we don't have to go it alone. There's support and guidance available if we just ask. And this connects perfectly with Peele's next chapter on solving personal problems.
He stresses the importance of self-awareness and understanding the root causes of our problems. He shares a touching story about how he started praying for strangers on a train, realizing that even small acts of faith and love can have a profound impact.
It's a beautiful example of how we can make a difference in the world simply by sending out positive energy and showing compassion. And it speaks to the interconnectedness of humanity.
Now get ready for this. Peele's next chapter explores the fascinating connection between our mental and physical health. It's called When Vitality Sags, Try This Health Formula, and he introduces the concept of psychosomatic medicine, which is the idea that our thoughts and emotions directly impact our physical well-being.
To illustrate this, he shares a story of a sales manager whose health is declining rapidly. But through prayer, forgiveness, and spiritual cleansing, he experiences a dramatic turnaround.
It's as if he hit the reset button on his health by addressing the underlying emotional and spiritual issues that were weighing him down.
It highlights the importance of taking a holistic approach to our well-being and recognizing the interconnectedness of our mind, body, and spirit.
Okay, this next chapter blew my mind. It's called Inflow of New Thoughts Can Remake You. And Peele tells the story of a man who finds renewed purpose and success by embracing a new spiritual path and transforming his thoughts and actions. It's a complete reinvention through a mindset shift.
It reinforces the idea that we're not defined by our past. We have the power to choose a new path at any moment and create the life we desire.
Peele emphasizes the importance of right-mindedness as a key to achieving prosperity and fulfillment. It's about aligning our thoughts and actions with our values and a higher purpose.
And if we think back to the beginning of our deep dive, it really reinforces the idea that our thoughts create our reality. If we want to change our lives, we need to start by changing our thoughts.
Peele wraps things up with a chapter on how to get people to like you. I know it might sound a bit superficial, but he makes some insightful points about the importance of healthy relationships for happiness and success.
He starts by sharing stories of people struggling with feelings of loneliness and insignificance, highlighting that universal need to feel wanted and appreciated. It's a reminder that we all crave connection.
Peele then offers practical advice on becoming more likable. He says the key is to be a comfortable person, someone who's easygoing and pleasant to be around.
And he emphasizes the importance of building up the ego of others, showing respect and appreciation for their personalities and making them feel valued, which honestly is just great advice for life in general.
Yeah, totally. It's like that saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. When you make others feel good, it creates a positive ripple effect.
Absolutely. So there you have it. Our deep dive into the power of positive thinking. We covered a lot today: believing in yourself, the power of prayer, finding peace, boosting energy, even getting people to like you.
Peele really packs it all in. For me, some of the biggest takeaways were the ideas of mustard seed faith, taking God as a partner, and the importance of replacing negative thoughts with positive ones. What resonated most with you?
I think for me, the emphasis on thought conditioning and the power we have to actually train our minds to focus on the positive was incredibly powerful. It's a reminder that we have more control over our thoughts and emotions than we often realize.
Absolutely. If you're ready to explore the power of positive thinking yourself, be sure to check out the affiliate link in the show description. And let us know what you think. We love hearing your insights and experiences in the comments below.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you're subscribed to Book Dive for more thought-provoking discussions delivered right to your earbuds.
Until next time, keep those positive vibes flowing. What's one small action you can take today to put some of Peele's wisdom into practice? Maybe try swapping a negative thought for a positive affirmation, or offering a genuine compliment to someone you meet. Remember, your thoughts have power. Choose them wisely. See you next time.